The Hindu temple Baps Sri Swaminarayan Mandir, located in Lilburn, was beautifully constructed, from entering to the grounds to how it was built on the inside. In the front of the temple, there's beautiful flowers and statues of elephants, which is a symbol of intellect and wisdom, spouting water from their trunks. On entering the actual temple, the walls looked like there were columns put together. On going up the stairs, it seemed as if the stairs were made out of marble. Space where the shrines were kept, there were columns, and in each one of them there were different deities on each side. When I asked about this, I was told that there really wasn't any meaning behind it. They just wanted to keep it as traditional as possible. On the walls where these columns were, there were also shrines. The shrines were enclosed during the time we were there, but there were pictures describing the deities.
Along with the visit to the beautiful temple, we had to abide by some rules. The temple was very strict when it came to following them. One of the rules was that we were not allowed to take any pictures once we got about halfway up the stairs leading to the inside of the temple. Furthermore, once we went into the entrance, we were greeted with some more rules that we had to follow. These rules included taking our shoes off, keeping our phones in our pockets at all times, not being allowed to wear sleeveless shirts, no food or drinks, and to keep our voice down while in the temple. As a matter of fact, they had people in certain areas making sure that visitors and people who practiced their religion obeyed these guidelines. These rules were put into place to ensure that there was no disruption and to hold the uppermost respect for both the temple and the practicers. We of course abided by these rules and had a great time viewing the different areas of the temple.
The people there were very interesting. Clothing in men and females was very different. Women wore a long skirt or a dress, while men wore a long white cotton shirt with white pants. Some men also wore what is known as an angarka. Women wore a long scarf or what's also known as a sari. We also noticed that many people had a red dot on their forehead. This was called a bindi. It has multiple meanings. It can mean a woman is married. It can mean love. It can also keep bad luck away. For women, it can also be a beauty mark. It can also represent a third eye. It sees things that our normal eyes can't see.
One of the most interesting things about the Mandir temple is the ceiling. What went through my head at the time was the fact that people hundreds of years ago had to hand carve all of these details into the stone itself that took several days or weeks, whereas today there are machines that get it done in a day. The reason why Hindu temples have fractal ceilings, which mean never-ending shapes or pattern, ties into Hindu cosmology. So the ceiling has several floral and geometric designs to it. This ceiling also has its own centerpiece, a dome that is 30 feet high and 38 feet across, with a 2.5-ton keystone coming down like a chandelier. Surrounding the keystone are celestial beings that shower down their blessings and benedictions. It is seen that the dome also follows that fractal design with the beings. The dome sits on an octagonal base surrounded by windows that allow natural light to filter through the stone. The entire ceiling then sits on several supporting columns.
Something I very much saw in the Hindu religion is the worship of shrines, and I thought it was very interesting, and it almost reminded me of the Catholic religion in the way that they worship the different saints and they worship the Virgin Mary. And I had asked the gentleman that worked there what was the significance about the shrines, and he explained to me how these images, these shrines, actually help the Hindu focus on different aspects of God. And so kind of what he was saying was how if someone was focusing on healing, or maybe they were focusing on wealth, depending on who the shrine was made after, maybe that was something that represented health or wealth, and so they would focus on that specific shrine and pray to that specific shrine for that aspect of God. So he explained how each shrine also contains a puja tray, which holds items, and these items are actually used in worship. And what it's for is to actually kind of awaken their senses as they worship. So this was something that I very much was taken back by, especially just a specific shrine that was actually a young boy who was about 11 years old, who he walked an almost 80,000 mile journey barefoot, and he was 11, and along the way he kind of built temples for people to come to and worship. And that shrine specifically was there for the aspect of devotion. So I thought this was actually very much unique, and it was really cool as far as the religion for Hinduism.
Hinduism is a way of life for many people. Hinduism is said to be the oldest and third most practiced religion in the world, which is estimated to have around 1 billion followers. Hindus are strong believers in karma, which is destiny or fate following as effect from cause. Hindus believe these actions of the soul, which reside in a body, require that it reap the consequences of those actions in the next life, the same soul in a different body. They believe the soul of a Hindu is returned to the physical realm every time they die. A Hindu believes that the individual soul is neither created nor destroyed. It has been, it is, and it will be. The goal of an individual soul is moksha. Moksha means liberation, the soul's release from the cycle of death and rebirth. It occurs when the soul unites with Brahman by realizing its true nature. Several paths can lead to the realization in unity: the path of duty, the path of knowledge, and the path of devotion.